I want to show you an amazing way of scanning data from a QR code straight to an Excel spreadsheet with just using your phone's camera. No fancy apps, add-ins or VBA knowledge is needed. You need Excel and a Google account. Let me present the steps of this method. First, we create a Google form for collecting the data. Then we use QR codes and some URL Jiu-Jitsu to enter data to that Google form. The final step is syncing the Google form answers to an Excel spreadsheet. It looks complicated, but it's actually not. We'll take it step by step.
Go to your browser and make sure you're logged into your Google account. And then type into the URL bar docs.google.com/spreadsheets. Create a new blank spreadsheet. Then click on Tools and create new form. Instead of option 1, we can write the data that we want to submit. By pressing on Enter, we can introduce more options. Then we can go to Send and copy the link. With this link, we could create a new private window in the browser and paste it. Here we can choose an answer and submit it to the Google Forms. If we go back to our normal browser window, within the responses, we can see that we have a submitted answer with chocolate ice cream. The same answer we can see in the spreadsheets. So if we close this tab and we go back to the first spreadsheet that we created, here within the form responses, we have the answers submitted of the Google Forms. But what if you want to be able to insert any text into this form without having to choose one of the options? In this case, we can go back to Google Forms, Questions, and instead of multiple choice, we can select short answer. Now, if we send and copy the link, then can go to the private window in the browser and paste it, we are able to type in anything. And the submitted answer will also be seen in the Google spreadsheet containing the form responses. So this is the logic we are going to follow to enter the data to our Google Forms. But we're not done yet. What we need to do is to get a pre-filled link to the Google Forms. This means we will get an URL that by accessing, we will get a pre-filled answer. So as an answer, let's write in test, then get link, copy link. Then we can go back to our spreadsheets, to sheet number 1, and here in cell A2, we can paste the link. So if we take this link and we paste it again in our private browser window, we get pre-filled the test text. So by following this logic, if we go back to our Google Forms and instead of test, we write in ice cream, and if we copy all this URL and if we paste it again, we get pre-filled the ice cream text. So that's what we are going to do, but we won't write manually within the URL all the data. We are going to do it dynamically. So we will delete all the text just to the equal symbol. And then in the column B, we are going to write in our data. Now in column C, we can combine the content from both columns. So it will be A2, ampersand, and B2. Now if we copy this link and if we paste it again into the private browser window, we get the data that we wanted. Let's go back to our spreadsheets, and you've observed that at the moment we need to submit the answer manually. So we get the pre-filled link, and to submit it, we need to click on submit. And only then we will have the response into the Google spreadsheet. But there is a way of making the submission automatic. If we go back to our Google form link, we can delete the view form and replace it with form response. And then the text after the interrogation sign up to the entry word, we can delete. So now if we copy the link and then we go back to the private browser, then we can see that just by accessing the URL, we were able to automatically submit the data that we needed. So we go back to Google Spreadsheets and we check the response and we see that it's submitted automatically. So we are almost done here. It is left to generate a QR code containing this URL. To generate a QR code into Google Spreadsheet, we will have to use the image function and an API for generating QR codes. The API we're going to use is called barcodeapi.org/API/QR/. You can also find it in the description of this video. Before we start generating it in Google Spreadsheet, let me copy the link and show you how it works. So if we just copy the API and paste it in the URL bar of the browser, we get a strange barcode. But if we write something additional after the last slash, for example, the name of this channel, we get a QR code. And if I scan this QR code with my phone, I'm able to get the channel's name. If we go a little further and instead of the channel's name, we write in the channel's YouTube URL, then we'll get another QR code that you can scan with your phone and subscribe to the channel. That will keep you up to date with the newest uploads. So that's the way how this API for generating QR codes works. Now we can go back to our Google spreadsheet, and in column C, we can start writing the image function. First, the image function will ask us for the URL which it will use to generate an image. We will start the URL by using the API link. In this case, it will be the cell number C1. And we can lock this cell. The next thing we're going to add after the API is the Google form URL. So we can insert an ampersand and insert the column A2. The third thing that we're going to add to the URL is the actual data that we want to submit. So we will insert another ampersand and add the content from cell B2. The next step is to choose a mode for sizing the QR code. So according to the image function information, in order to set custom dimensions to the QR code, we need to type in 4. So we will type in 4, then comma. Then we can choose the height of the QR code. It will be in pixels. We could write in 75 and the width also of 75. Now we can close the round bracket of the function and enter. Now Google Spreadsheets will ask us to allow access to external parties. The external party is the API URL, so we need to allow it. Let's close this one and let's see what we got. So it seems we have an issue, and I think that the issue might be with the spaces between our words in column B. So let's try it with a plus. And yes, that was the issue. So when writing your data, make sure you don't have spaces. Otherwise, the API won't be able to generate the proper QR code. So let's resize it a little bit. We can make it even bigger. We can make it 100. And now, if we just copy this link down and we add some more products, then we can drag down the image function. And you can see that the QR codes have been automatically generated. Now, if I try to scan one of these QR codes with my phone, we will automatically submit an answer. And if we check it within the form response, we see that we introduced the chocolate ice cream. Let's try it one more time. We submitted the banana ice cream. But in this case, how we are going to sync the Google spreadsheet with the Excel spreadsheet? In this case, we'll have to go to File, Share, and Publish to Web. Here we select the entire document, and here Web page. In the Publish Content and Settings, here we can see that the spreadsheet will automatically republish when the changes will be made. Let's start publishing and OK. And we will get a link. If we copy this link and create a new tab into the browser and access it, we can see the spreadsheet. And down here we can see that the spreadsheet is automatically updated every 5 minutes. So if we go and open an Excel spreadsheet, then we can use the Power Query tool that is available in Excel. Power Query being an ETL tool that allows us to extract, transform, and load data from different sources such as databases, PDF files, Excel files, and data from web. To access Power Query, go to Data, Get Data, From Other Sources, and click on From Web. You can access it also by clicking on here. After a while, we'll get this window where we can paste the link that we copied when publishing the Google spreadsheet. Then OK. Now Excel is connecting to the Google spreadsheet. Here we get the navigator window where we can preview the content from the Google spreadsheet. So table 2 is the spreadsheet containing the Google form URL, the data, and the QR codes. And the table 1 contains the responses of the Google form. We are going to use this table. Now click on Transform Data. And let's clean the data a little bit. We don't need the column number 1 because this is the column order got from Google Spreadsheet. Right click and remove. Then we can click on this arrow and uncheck blank. This will remove the blank spaces from our column. And then we can make the row number 1 as the headers for these two columns. To do that, click on this icon and use first row as headers. Now we can rename the table to QR data entry and close and load. Then, after a while, an Excel table will be created containing the responses from the Google form. If we go back to browser and to the Google Spreadsheets, we can try and scan another QR code to enter the data. So if I use my phone and let's scan the banana. We submitted the answer. If we check the Google spreadsheet, we got the banana ice cream. If we go to the published link, we haven't got it updated yet. So we'll have to wait 5 minutes until the data is republished. After 5 minutes, we can see that we get the data updated. So now if we go back to our Excel spreadsheet, click on Data tab and refresh all, Power Query will extract the data from the newly published Google spreadsheet, and then it will load the data into the Excel.
Now you know how to scan data from QR code to Excel. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. It helps and motivates a lot. And tell me in the comment section down below in which projects are you going to use this tutorial. My name is Christian, and see you into the next video.